upset our predictions and upset the match here as they look to take down the Lyngby Vikings.
You missed a couple of the biggest names there on those Dust 2 results as well. Ents are on there with a very, very close matchup, 16-13. Sprout are on there a couple of times too. But either way, we get right underway here onto Nuke. Lyngby Vikings on this T side, and they're going to go for heavy outside presence. Bird from Sky just jiggling around towards Hart, making his presence known while his teammates get down secret, and no one's there to contest it. Pasadello fires off a couple of shots, can't connect for the kill, and Rouse instead returns it. Lyngby, they have got a good avenue here to get something done.
With that man advantage, Team 1 as well, making their way back down, but they don't rotate just away. They know that Vents is definitely under contention. Skulls fully Flash is going to try and assist, but Fasher and NATO snapping, so they ring true. NATO looking for yet another player as PRT is dinked on down. He'll try his hand at aggression. He realizes he can't really fight right now, and with Mabs coming in to assist, PRT definitely in an awkward position, and with Bird from Sky clearing each angle, Mabs is dinked on down, and then for Team 1, this may be where they falter.
Team 1, they've been completely outmaneuvered there in the pistol. Lyngby, it's almost a team ace, but Relax can't find anybody. Nonetheless, a fantastic start, especially for that T side of Nuke, to take the pistol, to not allow your opponents to actually get any kills, so they're not going to have that extra economy. They're going to force into this next one. Unless Team 1 can pull off a masterclass with these Deagles, we might actually see an early 3-round lead here for Lyngby Vikings. I really, really like the setup, and the fact that they were actually able to find the kill in A main on the cross to secret is just sensational.
A great opening, and we see the Team 1 side at bootcamp right now. It's really going to do wonders. Their mentality being at bootcamp means that things that would usually tilt you probably won't, because your teammates next to you to support one another. Fasher, he's tagged down early on by the scout of Maluk, and instead, as he backs on away, as he makes his way down towards Secret, Team 1 can't really choose to aggress for the time being. They know that Lyngby Vikings have a really, really strong buy, and because of that, they keep back, they hold their distance, and they wait to see what the Danes bring them, because the reality is right now, Lyngby Vikings definitely are at an advantage, but with Pesadello able to find a first kill, Maluk onto the second, suddenly the Vikings in a bit of trouble here.
You know, KREMER, if you put me in a room with my teammates, it acts as a detriment. We end up going for Jaeger bomb breaks and stuff like that. But at this kind of level, I think they're a little more disciplined. And yeah, you're right. It does keep that morale high. For now, though, Lyngby, they are crumbling under the pistols. And Malb's even able to connect one more. Relax, just with the Galil in hand. 28 points of health to his name. And surely he won't be alive for much longer. There we go. Malb's tripling up. And he is actually going to upgrade to an AK as well. He'll be very, very happy with that one. I'm quite surprised Team 1 were able to turn that one around. But in doing so, they force Lyngby onto double eco. We're going to have to see another force here from them, and it puts them in a very sticky situation indeed.
Beautiful recovery from Team 1 at that, and because they have been able to keep Lyngby Vikings down and at bay, it means that over at the Vikings side, we'll see a force spy come out. There's Deagles there, there's armor to support it, the odd smoke, the odd flash to really ease them through. But the reality is Team 1 definitely in the driver's seat now, and with Maluk again, the scout in hand, ready to spot out anyone who dare come towards outside. Never mind, Rowlsy introduces himself, and he does so with a swift execution with that Deagle, and all of a sudden Team 1 go a man down.
Lyngby looking to give their opponents a taste of their own medicine. They say, if you're going to destroy us with the Deagles, we're going to do the same to you. And, well, that's a beautiful opening there from Rouse to put a little bit of a statement out. Up close and personal, the Galil's able to spray away for quite a lot. Pasadello deep towards CT. These Deagles just can't seem to connect onto him, and with the automatic rifle, he's able to do a hell of a lot of damage. There's the AK to support Malbs. That is a crispy headshot, and I think Lyngby are starting to crumble at this point. Off of the back of the first pick, they weren't able to capitalize. It didn't actually open up anything towards the A site for them, and now they're trapped outside, and they've got opponents encroaching in from all angles.
While it was a beautiful opening, it looks like Team 1 once again have been able to recover. So it's interesting as well. In the last 3 months, we haven't seen Team 1 play Nuke at all. We have no clue how good they're going to be here. And right now, Lyngby Vikings are going to be delving into the unknown with no clue what their opponents may hold for them. With a 3-on-2 now, they're going to move forward with these Deagles, look to catch out the odd member wherever possible. But you need to bear in mind, this is a force buy. If Team 1 are able to win this round, they're going to be able to string together another one after this against what will be their chance to farm some cash on the Lyngby eco.
So I think Team 1 actually normally ban out Nuke, but this time they've target banned. They've actually banned out Inferno to try and negate one of Lyngby's best maps, which is interesting. Getting off to a good start here, though. I mean, regardless of the fact that they don't normally play Nuke, they're 2-1 up. They're having a pretty convincing CT side so far, bouncing right back, converting against these forces, and now they will actually be allowed a little bit of a freebie. It's going to be an eco here from Lyngby. Off the back of the bomb plant, we could see a couple of pistols come out, but I can't imagine there'll be much more than that. And look at the little stonks, man, on the left. That's brilliant.
I do like some of the decorations in these rooms, but what's interesting for Lyngby Vikings is because they went for this force replying to a force replying to a force, it means that we see them here on pistols. Team 1, they make it 3, they build an economy. And even though Lyngby Vikings were able to do damage last round, the reality is it's going to have to be damage done this round as well to make that have a butterfly effect. Team 1, they can look to stop it before it really gets started here if they can make this round look convincing. And looking at their buy, that seems more than possible. Lyngby Vikings congregating towards lobby, getting ready to assault this ramp position. Malb's a lone man to defend it. Good for 1. Spots out a few more coming his way. Makes it 2. Looks to make it 3. Can do just that. Low HP though. Can't quite make it 4 as Relax is able to trade, but Maluk's there to assist.
I can't help but say they're eco frags, but Malbs right now is absolutely on fire. He's 8-2. He's getting all those feel-good frags, and Team 1, a near flawless round there, puts them in a fantastic position where they can really start to get this money going. And on that CT side, especially here on Nuke, that is so, so important. We go into round number 5. It is going to be a full investment here from the Lyngby Vikings, but no AWP available, so we'll see NATO Savix down to that rifle. Still very, very capable on it, but it's not like a full buy. I think they would really want that sniper, especially here on Nuke.
We see Team 1 moving forward in a very beefy buy. Maluk, he's the man to watch out for. He had a great opening to their first force buy, and he's had a great series and had a great one against Godsend. Now, with that kill to Relax, it means Pesadelo will spot the players coming in from Secret. However, he's swarmed by Fasher, who's able to trade, bring it down to a 4-on-4, as elsewhere, the assist comes through from Vents. Maluk falls, Safix onto Malbs, leaves Lyngby Vikings ahead of a PRT and Skulls now. In a 2-on-4, there's that very real option of having to go and save.
Well, that's the call already. A couple of huge mistakes here made from Team 1. Pasadello trying to go for that jiggle towards Secret, where once you spot someone, you deploy the smoke, but you can't go for it late round when you have no control. He's going for that jiggle peek and realizes that there's literally a man 3 feet in front of him. And as soon as he shows himself with the smoke grenade, he will be punished for it all day long. Easy kill there for Lyngby, an easy opening to get onto that B site, and it will put their second on the board. Of course, with Team 1 saving these 2 rifles, it means that Skulls will have a weapon going into the next, PRT can drop Malbs, and we will see a full investment from them once again. But Lyngby to bounce back here to keep this contentious early on, very, very good stuff.
What's interesting as well is the reason they kind of faltered there was because Maluk went for a kill towards Squeaky. It meant the outside hold wasn't as strong, and Lyngby Vikings were able to swarm the defense of Pesadelo. My worry for them is that where's the repeatability in that? Maluk now is going to be a bit more wary of outside. I doubt we'll go for another Squeaky peek again. It worked the first time, and that is a gimmicky play to go for anyway. So now he has that man advantage. Now he established it that round. He'll now back away. He'll play closer to outside. It means that Lyngby Vikings outside control is definitely going to be a bit harder fought now in the future.
Well, the spam's coming through. Previously, they've been quite successful. Team 1 have been able to find an opening pick towards that squeaky door. This time, no one's there. Flash goes over the top, not going to affect Maluk at all. This time, Natus Affix has actually got that sniper in hand too to contend. We know how quick this man is to the trigger, but Maluk is in a very good off angle right now and behind the window as well. Often difficult to pre-aim. I can't imagine Lyngby go for a cross here, though, without these smokes going down.
Maluk with a perfect angle on anyone who will dare come his way, and there's the re-smokes going through just to hold people at arm's length for the time being. Pesadelo teasing some aggression towards Secret now, as Maluk himself will make his way forward again, ready for the aggression. Pesadelo good for the first, Maluk there for the second, and Lyngby Vikings find themselves down by 2 members now as they turn their attention down towards Secret. Bird from Sky, there's a trade, but is it a trade or is it an opening? We'll have to see, and what will be the follow-up as PRT aggresses towards lobby. Relax, the timing gives both a blessing and a curse. He's not caught out, but it's Maluk to find Bird from Sky. Relax now, not quite ready with the magnitude of the attack coming from behind him, means that he can try and get a timing onto Maluk in ramp.
Oh, the timing for Relax is not going well today at all. As he comes on top of the box, though, there we go. Finally goes his way. It is instantly traded by Malbs there, and NATO Safix. 1 versus 3. There's 20 seconds on this clock, and the bomb is nowhere to be seen. He is going to have to fall away and save here. Lyngby have done incredibly well at recovering off of the back of taking an early man disadvantage, but losing 2 players early, it becomes so difficult to actually pull back. So Lyngby, they're going to have to fall away here. We'll go 4-2 to Team 1. And Lyngby, at the moment, especially on this terrorist side, they are just looking to take a round every now and again and try and finish the half with 6. Yeah, if they can do that, they'll be very happy. What they need to make sure of, though, is that they actually keep this Team 1 economy at bay and they still continue to do damage in these rounds, because what they don't want is Team 1 to get a load of money and a load of confidence and propel themselves onto 10-11. That's where it becomes a little bit too far gone.
I fear that too far gone may be a term we keep using to describe Team 1, because they have, again, this is the first time we see them play Nuke, and they've been able to do so admirably. We look over to another opening now as Nuke finds Rowls, and as Lyngby Vikings find themselves slowly being shut down around the board. That means that Nuke is just going to back away with this man advantage and let Lyngby Vikings be the ones to try and over-aggress to make up for the differential.
You know what's super interesting? I've just dove into the stats, and Lyngby Vikings are actually one of the only teams I've ever seen that here on Nuke have a better T side than their CT side. How crazy is that? Yeah, they actually have a better T side than their CT side, and that's across a lot of maps as well. That's across 16 maps, so that's not just like an anomaly. That is genuine. They do just seem to take more rounds on their T side, so they like both. Yeah, they've got a pretty high win rate on both, but I think they're really looking for 8 here to call this one a good half. And Bird from Sky, I thought he was going to get timinged there, but actually Spidey senses kick in. He flicks to his left, and that's Pasadello gone. Man advantage back in Lyngby's favor, and if they clear this hard corner, Malbs should fall to the same fate. Oh no.
Those Malbs good for 1. Fasher instantly lets trade, which is the silver lining. NATO towards ramp. Spots out the first, knows where the second is. He'll deploy smoke, he'll deploy nade just to keep him back for the time being. And Skulls, let's try and catch out the Sorper, but NATO won't let him do so. It's a third for Lyngby now as they ease their way back into this, but the reality is Team 1 right now are ahead, and while they do go down to what will be an awful bye, it's still potentially enough to try and catch out Lyngby here.
Watching NATO is just so fantastic. You see him in scenarios like that, and you can literally see the cogs turning. He gets spotted, and he goes, well, I can't just reface into this or I'm dead. So I'm going to deploy a smoke, I'm going to deploy a flash over the top, and then I can start to jiggle it and get the advantage in this scenario. Hits a fantastic shot. And Team 1, they're actually down to a force buy here, and it's a very lackluster one at that. So we're going to see Deagles come out, and unless they can do what they did earlier and pull off an absolute masterclass with them, we should see Lyngby take the lead here. They've taken the outside control, bombarded into garage. Rouse has been hit incredibly low, but it's still a 5v5, and Team 1 still with control of the bomb sites. If Lyngby get funneled in, they could certainly walk right into the crossfires of these pistols.
They try to hold for the time being, and for Team 1 right now, aggression is everything. Lyngby Vikings, they try to back away, they try to hold suit, and while it is just a matter of time, while they are just looking to wait and see what comes their way, Team 1 have actually been a bit aggressive. They've spotted out towards Upper, they lost a member, and now they don't push any further. Now Malbs is going to re-clear towards CT spawn. He knows they've given up outside control. And with his teammates over towards ramp as well, it does keep Team 1 back for the time being. Malbs tries to catch out an initial member. Can't quite do so, though, as he'll try and regress from secrets, but without a kill now, Lyngby Vikings are going to stay ahead. There's that missed shot by Maluk. Relax their trade, but Lyngby Vikings pitifully low on HP, but they just have not lost a player yet. And Team 1, while they are in a position to punish, Skulls is the only man who can really do so.
It's heartbreaking here for Team 1, the fact that they're not able to do more damage when Bird from Sky and Rouse have got a combined health of 7. That is rough indeed. The timing of that scout coming up secret was perfect, but I think he panicked a little bit, fired off the shot too early, couldn't connect with the head. Malbs is putting up some numbers here, already on to double digits. Unfortunately for PRT, he's on no digits. He's not actually found himself a kill yet. As they drop down to this eco, Lyngby should be able to, take the lead here and rack up that cash as well. Looking for a flawless round. There's nothing invested here from Team 1, and the pistols have dispersed around the map. So a real good opportunity for Lyngby to pick them off one by one.
What's interesting as well is that with Fascio amplifying Pesadello, what's interesting is that Malbs with 10 kills, it means he's carrying the weight of both him and PRT. Yeah, PRT, he's not doing a James Bond. Yeah, he has got 4 assists, but that's interesting to see that he's not actually got a kill yet. He has a chance to now. Yes, he only has an ESP. It looks like he's just going to be spotted out by Rouse. It's messy, but Rouse comes out on top. Mal's finished off by Bird from Sky, and that's a very clean round by Lyngby Vikings there to establish a lead, and more importantly, build an economy while simultaneously keeping their players alive.
Rouse and Bird from Sky are walking on a wire right now. The last 2 rounds in a row, they've been in the red HP. They're the ones that have gone for those entries, taken a whole load of damage, but still won the engagements and stayed alive. That's a flawless round there from Lyngby, and despite having to reinvest some utility, they've got tons and tons of cash to work with. By the looks of things, we will see a technical timeout come through, as no one is leaving their spawn. And there we go. Cheeky little pause.
Cheeky little pause to get things underway, and of course, it wouldn't be a game without a small tech issue. In a second now, we should be told by our admins what's wrong. We have had a round restore as well, so I think we may see a disconnect here. But I'll tell you what, Josh, who do you see taking this map? I know you predicted a Lyngby 2-0 at the start of this, but now you've seen Team 1 put up a bit of a fight to kickstart their CT side. Do you still see it being a 2-0, or do you think Team 1 have a bit of hope here?
No, I still stand by what I said. If I've said 2-0 10 minutes ago, and Lyngby have come into Nuke and got off to a 5-4 start on their T side, I'm not going to go back on it. Yeah, I'll stick with my prediction.
Tell you what, I might be leaning. I feel a bit more Team 1 inclined, as you know, when we saw them against Godsent, they truly were bad. Like, they were really, really messy. They weren't trading one another. They were just stumbling over a map. And now they've come onto Nuke. They genuinely look healthy. They look alive. And I seriously see them actually potentially taking this series, especially if they can make Overpass a bit convincing. I think that Lyngby, they struggle very much so on Dust 2. And Team 1 look like they're going to be in a pretty good place to punish that, especially if Malbs is popping off with this AWP.
Do you know what, KREMER? I think you just like to disagree with me.
What's disagree? Josh, I've never disagreed with you in my life.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think you're a true Team 1 fan. I think you're just an anti-Josh prediction fan.
You want to hear something interesting as well?
Go on.
We've had our first 6-man roster utilization as a casting duo. We've just been told that Skulls' PC's completely froze, and we're bringing in Cassin for Dust 2.
Ah, completely frozen. It's just dead. That's it. Like,
yeah, I was just because as well. We're actually on Nuke, so his PC's frozen. While his PC's frozen, they've spoke about a bit, and we're actually going to see Cassin come in when they go to Dust 2.
Right. So what's happening for Nuke?
I imagine they're going to wait for his PC to come back.
But if his PC's come back, then if they're on boot camp, why doesn't he just play on Cassin's PC?
Josh, you're asking some very good questions here, and the reality is, I don't quite know the. Maybe he is. Maybe he is, and Cassin's ransom is I'll play Dust 2. You do my PC.
I don't know. That seems bizarre. If you're at home, then fine. But if you're on boot camp, that seems bizarre to me. But ho-hum, hopefully we get this pause sorted out soon, and we can get right back into the game. But yeah, it's that's a weird one.
That is a weird one. What do you think of this 6-man roster by Team? What do you think of 6-man rosters in general, Josh?
I like them, to be honest. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. At like a professional level, when it's literally their job, it does confuse me a little bit, because unless there's like a random kind of freak event where someone needs to jump in because someone's computer's frozen, or there's like some big family emergency or something, then like it doesn't make a lot of sense. Definitely at like a lower level though, where you're kind of going into that tier 3, tier 4 scene, and a lot of players also have day jobs, having a 6-man roster is fantastic, because you never know when you're going to need to sub in that 6th player. So yeah, it does make a lot of sense. But I suppose if you're like traveling halfway across the world and you're boot camping in Europe, bringing a 6th player with you just in case makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. And well, we look over. I've actually just done a bit of diving into statistics as well, and this is a bit interesting. Cassin, his rating is 0.61. That's pretty bad. We look over to Skulls. His win rate is only 0.87. So while he's also struggling a bit, his rating, so to say, a bit higher. Maybe Vikings with the fast dive towards ramp though, or towards vents. My apologies. It's going to allow Relax to get right up close and personal behind Team One, who are just going to have to try and commit mouths to try and at least keep him back. But this is where Lyngby Vikings spring that attack towards ramp. Lyngby Vikings spread out around the map. I'm going to catch out an initial flare, and right now, Relax is doing an amazing job just by keeping Team 1 distracted, keeping a rotation in place, and just making as much noise as possible.
Not a lot of utility here for Team 1 either. No incendiaries, but that doesn't matter. Mouths is tapping on heads, and well, I called him out earlier for a lot of his frags being eco frags, but now he's doing it against the rifles. Even the timing onto Rouse, that is unbelievable. Rouse goes for the trigger discipline, doesn't want to tap the shot onto the man that's jiggling around, and it costs him his life. NATO's there to trade it, but a man disadvantage, and Maluk on that off angle in the garage, it's always overlooked, and there always seems to be a man lingering there. Puts the numbers in Team 1's favor even further. Fasher needs to get a free frag here, and as he spots out the player, he can deploy the Molotov. I'm not sure if it's going to land. It absolutely won't. Hits one of the pipes and, well, doesn't actually do anything. I think that Lyngby might not be able to recover this one.
Just heartbreaking. PRT finds one, Pesadelo one for the second, and with that, Team 1 tie things up 5-5. Maybe Vikings with the idea was there. Yeah, it was a great thought process, but it just wasn't quite enough. And PRT, he found his first frag as well, so we got reason to celebrate. And well, off the back of it, it means that we see a reinvestment from Lyngby Vikings. While it's not an incredible one, it's one to just tick them through. And over at the Team 1 side, they're just going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel with their buy. They lose this round convincingly. They are going to be straight down to pistols again, but they're not. They've got a glimmer of hope, even though they're not out of the woods just yet.
Well, we see another full buy from both sides, and actually both sides have got money. It's 5-5, the scoreline's level, the money's level, the buy's level. Let's see who comes out on top with it. Full A execution, Molotov's raining over the top. No one's going to be on top of Hut, but PRT spam from behind by Rouse. Skulls and Pasadello able to respond, though, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in another 4-on-2 situation. Skulls deploying a very bizarre smoke, but it keeps him alive, and Pasadello and Mouths are able to finish off the job. 6-5, Team 1 take it, and off the back of it, I'm not sure if we're going to see another buy here from Lyngby. They haven't got too much cash to work with, and they're going to call a timeout to discuss what the game plan is here.
I think Lyngby, for the most part, are just kind of surprised that they've seen this side just really pull ahead and do so well. Yeah, this side has been really, really incredible, and I genuinely am impressed by Lyngby right now. Team 1 on the flips, I'm impressed by Team 1, sorry. Lyngby on the flip side, while they have got a fairly strong nuke, it's really not as good as we kind of made it out to be. And, you know, we look at the veto, we look at the win rate that they boast with Nuke, and considering that their T side is their better side, I genuinely expect this to be a bit more one-sided than it is. For Lyngby Vikings, yes, their T side is like 54, their CT side is 52, so it's not a heavy favor, but it's enough for them, it's enough of a favor for me to want to see Lyngby Vikings have put up a bit more of a performance here. Team 1, they move into this next full buy against just pistols, Lyngby Vikings, giving them a great chance to build some economy. Of course, the other things underway. Team 1 again, just spread out around the map. Lyngby Vikings with a couple smokes here or there. The odd molly, the odd flash at the ready to just hold firm. It's not quite enough, and it may just allow them to tick on through, but it genuinely won't keep them at bay for too long. You see as flashes go down, as util flies, and as Team 1 look to just refuse this force by Lyngby Vikings. They're being very, very passive as they do so, waiting for them to come back.
Well, these pistols could certainly do some damage, and with $2,500 in the bank for everybody, they will have a full investment in the next. But this should allow Team 1 onto 7, as Lyngby, behind the cover of the smokes, get their way down secret. They should be good for a bomb plant here, but they have still got Pasadello to contest with, who's going for this jump spot, using that door to make sure that his head doesn't poke too high over. It's going to be very tricky for one of the Deagles to connect. As the boost over the top, though, gives them more to work with, but Pasadello sneaks away in the meantime. Door's going to close, and this B site now becomes much harder to take as Mouths comes in to support. and Lyngby need to hit some shots here.
The reality is, even if they don't hit shots, if they're just able to do the odd bit of damage to some of these Lyngby members, whether it be, retrieving an AK, whether it be just keep it getting a bomb plant, then that should be enough. Pesadelo, he lines up 2 quick kills, so he meant to kill the second person there. Miles with 2 of his own, leaves all down to Relax, and in a 1v5, I think he can only hope to just catch out this orb and potentially save it. The reality is, Team 1, they've given us an incredible showing now, and for Relax, this could be his death and a 7th for Team 1.
That is heartbreaking for Relax there. He sees the players back. He's waiting for the head to show. And unfortunately, the head only shows when he turns around. Lyngby, they pull out a buy here, but they kind of need to win this round. If they lose this round, they have no money again. And Team 1 can get themselves onto 9 or 10 here. Now, normally, I'd say this isn't even a bad half from Lyngby, but considering they do favor their T half, I think they're looking for 7. There's that double spray down from Pasadelo, swings around, does damage onto the 3rd. It's like a little bit of an early Christmas present, isn't it, when you find the 2nd man and you didn't even mean to. It's like, oh, cool.
Absolutely right. I honestly cannot wait to see just how Lyngby are able to fare on their CT side, because the reality is, Team 1 are strong right now. I say that as we see an absolute slaughter appear around the map, and it's down to Maluk, just out of nowhere. He's been able to catch out the AWPer though. Then in a 1 versus 2, he makes his way forward, just sprouts through the smoke, trying to make sure that no one's able to retrieve that bomb for the time being. As it's Relaxed to pick it up, the smoke goes down by Maluk just to keep him at bay for the time being. Now as he just dives through it, he looks for the 2nd member. Fasher the one to worry about. Maluk not quite able to react in time. As Fasher shuts him down, that becomes a 6th for Lyngby Vikings as they ebb their way forward.
Much better round there from Lyngby. And as I said before, it was a little bit of a must-win. Coming out on top, puts them on to 6, gives them enough money to pull out some big weapons going into round number 14 as well, and try and take one of the next 2. As long as they can do that, they'll be in a great position. If they can take both, it will be even better for them. Double AWP setup comes out here for Team 1, though. It's one of the first times we've seen this in this series. In fact, may even be the first time we've seen it. Maluk, the usual suspect with that AWP, and Pasadelo picking up a secondary. Nice advanced position here onto ramp, and he's actually going to aggress. This could catch Lyngby off guard, but he needs to get the timing right. He's on the correct angle, but as he's jumping between the 2, he creeps up further, and no, crosshair too high, just gets Relaxed over the shoulder, and Relax is able to trade it right out. Man advantage here for Lyngby, and they've now got the ramp control to take if they want it.
I think Relax is a bit shaken, a bit scared, but happy he was able to survive. We look over towards Lyngby Vikings now as they barrel their way towards ramp control. And for Team 1, they haven't really had a reaction. They've kept the players down towards A. They've sent the AWP of Pasadelo down towards Secret, and from there he's going to look to reaffirm and re-clear from control. Malb's able to even out the man count onto Fasher as he aggresses over towards Hell. And for Team 1, with only a single man committed towards B, there are players ready to rotate, but it gives Lyngby Vikings an avenue of, or a window to come back if they could just find this opening onto Pasadelo.
Well, a 4v4, it normally favors the T side. It spreads the defenses, but Pasadelo on the AWP with the angle. Connects the first, damage onto the 2nd, but just can't hit it. And there we go. Bird from Sky opens the door, trades it out, back into a 3-on-3. The C4 is going to go down. Now this massively favors Lyngby. With NATO Safix picking up an AWP of his own, he is now in a brilliant position. Ready for the retake. All 3 members coming in from ramp. The smoke grenade, it's going to eliminate NATO's sightline, but he's going to try and push through it. This is dangerous.
It's a great hole in that door there from Sky to get a bit of a one-way, but able to catch out anyone. It's the initial aggression from Rouse, a massive whiff, but it's NATO to find the first kill. Good for 1. Rouse there to find it as a 2nd. Skull's alone in a 1v2 now, with only 22 HP to his name. That bomb stick too far down. He goes through a single door. He goes to save, but an outburst from Sky will let him. There's the kill. There's the equalizer. And for Lyngby Vikings, there's their avenue back into this game. We look over to Team 1, who don't really have an economy. It's been completely and utterly shattered. And this means that for Lyngby Vikings, they may hit that so-desired 8 that you referred to earlier.
NATO right there played like that was so cool. Honestly, when you actually break it down, you see what he did there. It was a 3 versus 3. His angle was smoked off, and rather than him falling away and essentially baiting his teammates, because there's nowhere else that he can really go with that AWP where it can have any kind of impact, he actually jumps through the window and holds an angle on the edge of the smoke. Means that he can find the opening man, and off the back of it, fill his team with confidence. Going into the 15, they go into B with pace. That's a very nice kill there from Malbs. So the man advantage in their favor, but with only these deagles on the retake and the C4 going down, Lyngby should be able to hold this.
We see a 2k by Relax before he's traded. Elsewhere, it's down to Skulls to find Nato Safex, leaving it all on Bird from Sky. Alone in a 1 versus 2. Maluk crosses, Bird from Sky makes his location known as he heads down towards single door. That bomb ticking on down. The defuse going through. Maluk, a beautiful kill there. And for Team 1, they make an 8 off the back of pistols. A great recovery. And for Lyngby Vikings, that's a bit of a kick to the teeth. They move to their CT side now in the hopes to keep things even or to come back. And if they want to achieve this 2-0 dream, they're going to have to do so off the back of a pistol round.
Yeah, it's not crazy important, but if they do want to get this momentum flowing going onto this CT side, then it is an important round to be taking. An 8-7 half, it's not bad at all. In fact, it would be a fantastic half for any other team on Nuke. But for Lyngby, I think that they were looking for that 8th. Remember, they do still have a positive result on their CT side. They take about 52% of the rounds on this defense, so they are still in a very, very good position to take this one. It all kind of comes down to how strong Team 1's T side is. We don't see them play Nuke at all. We literally have no data to go off of. Their CT side was good. It was great, in fact, but they choked it a little bit at the end, and now moving on to this attack, they need to show us what they're made of. If they roll over and just crumble here, Lyngby, they'll be able to snatch it away, and quite willingly too. USP tapping away here from Nato Safex, unable to connect for now, but it's all a big bamboozle. Team 1, their main goal is to get onto A.
Bit of damage done either way as Team 1 barrel their way out towards the safe side. PRT called out by Fasher. Now Rao's ready for the players to go out from single door. Spots out 2 members, can't quite kill them, but with that bomb's location known, Lyngby Vikings are thrust into a retake situation, and with 5 players on armor, with no kit to work with, that's definitely a tough spot. Bestedello spotted towards Teeth spawn, means he is just going to have to delay a rotation rather than fight one. Bird from Sky goes down and towards Vents, his teammates go towards Rampen. Well, with that, Bird from Sky getting his way on forward. He's got Malbs to worry about, and for good reason. Malbs able to fall before taking down 1. Fasher onto Skulls, leaves it down to Bestedello and Maluk. Maluk instantly taken down. Bestedello now to 1v5. Good for 1. Doubles up now. Suddenly, this is doable. He's got players running straight towards him. Can't quite find the remainder. Nato finishes the job. Is there enough time? Is the real question here. It's sticking down mighty damn low. Bird from... that is damn close, but Lyngby Vikings are able to make it 8, and off the back of that, Team 1 now find themselves on a 4 spike.
My goodness, there was no kit there from Lyngby, and I was about to criticize Pasadello's play there. I was going to say that I liked the fact that he was trying to cut off the rotate, but he got timinged, and it meant that he was majorly out of position. And as Lyngby came in and got that retake done really quickly, he was then kind of darting towards his site, making loads of noise to get back in. But he managed to deny the defuse, find himself 1 more, and cut it down to what was the final tick. That was incredibly close indeed. Bird from Sky now with this AUG outside, looking to try and farm some heads against the pistols. Spots out the first, spams him away. That's Malbs gone. Nato Safex here to support. 2 headshots found from himself. And Bird from Sky is still alive and kicking, still looking to do damage. Knows that there's a 3rd man here behind the containers. On Team 1, this is just an eco from them. So we see a couple of pistols come out, but no major commitment. So they're going to be more than happy to just lose this round without too much damage dealt.
It's interesting to see an eco after a bomb plant, really, from the seaside. But
yeah,
as we see them now, they can have quite a beefy buy. Even Glass kind of know an AWP should they want to. PRT looks like he's weighing up the options. Does he go for it? No, he doesn't. So it's going to be AKs around the board over on Team 1, and it means that they're going to be able to have a full execution against Lyngby Vikings. But it means that Lyngby Vikings can play bonus. So with 2 MP9s, I fully expect to see something like a lobby crunch to come through from Lyngby Vikings and or outside control, just to try and get up in the face of Team 1 here.
I do like that from Team 1, though. With rounds to play with, I mean, remember, the scoreline's close. If they were trailing by miles, I think they definitely would have gone for the force off the back of the bomb plant. But with the close contentious scoreline, you can kind of afford to say, okay, we're going to give up a round here, but we are going to make sure that we win the 18th because we've got a major firepower advantage. We come in with the AKs, and Lyngby, they're still on a bonus. They've still got those MP9s that they invested into the last round. Remember, Lyngby, they do still have these 2 AUGs and that M4 to work with, and Fasher ready with a smoke in his hand to deploy it. Skulls, though, still finds the opening man onto the A site, but Fasher's there to trade with the SMG. Does tons of damage onto the second man, but can't finish him. And Team 1 now have the man advantage, but the retake, it's so close that they might even be able to get it done before the C4 goes down.
He's bear in mind both from Sky's position there. It's absolutely phenomenal down towards Squeaky, and meant that the retake towards the site came through from both angles, where Luke now has to make his way forward to try and catch out these members, and in the 1v2, he isolates the first 1v1, shuts out Rouse now versus Bird from Sky. Can he catch out the lone member in defense? Ebbing his way forward, he's able to retrieve that bomb, and I think as he does retrieve that bomb, he realizes that Bird from Sky has nowhere else to be. Bird from Sky, a questionable decision-making from him there, as we see Team 1 equalize 9-9, forcing Lyngby Vikings back.
Well, they really do choke that 2v1 scenario. Of course, they weren't given too much time before Maluk actually swung out there and took those gunfights, but still, they threw it away. They gave him the opportunity to take 2 1-for-1 gunfights, and he capitalized on it all day long. Bird from Sky walks out onto the site. He's looking the complete wrong way, and Maluk's able to get it done. Plays it incredibly well, and not to make any sound either. Really does keep Bird from Sky guessing in this scenario, and they are able to start the scoreline 9-9. I think we'll still see some money here from the Lyngby Vikings. I'm not sure how much, and I'm interested to see if they actually go for a buy or not.
It'll be an interesting ask. Again, for this side of Team 1, they're in a pretty strong position here. You need to bear in mind that on the second half, equal sides, it's whoever's in the lead, even if it's by 1 round, that lead, it really resonates. On the first half, it's always, yeah, we got the second half to come back, we got a pistol round to bounce off. Right now, for Team 1, this is their chance to really look like they can pull ahead and really look to shut down the Vikings.
Oh, but you see a reinvestment here from the Lyngby Vikings, and this is interesting considering Team 1 only kept 1 player alive last round. They haven't got a whole lot to work with either. We see the Galils come out on 2 members. We don't see a lot of utility. So these rifles, accompanied by an SMG and a Deagle, really can bear fruits. As Maluk gets up close and personal on top of the silo outside, looking to try and find a gunfight, he's not going to spot out anything. As Lyngby, they're just not contesting at all. Trying to play this one a little bit deeper, a little more passive. Allow Team 1 to walk right into their crossfires where they have the advantage. And I quite like this. They actually look to try and reaggress outside. With 2 members coming in from secret, they could do some damage here.
They slowly ease their way forward, and I love this setup towards secret by Lyngby, but the reality is it needs to be off the back of what will be a kind of crunch from Team 1. And Team 1, they seem more than happy to make their way towards A, which is the least defended place on the map for Lyngby Vikings right now, leaving them in a really awkward position. For NATO Sapphics to be sent to site, Relax will try and bait them into him, but even then, it's a tough old ask. But from Sky, the timing's perfect. He finds Maluk. He knows there's a second there. Assisted by Fasher. Can't quite find the kill. On the flip side, we see Relax now, ready for the fight. Sent to site. Good for 1. NATO good for the second. He actually spotted out the other member. Didn't quite kill him, though. As Rouse good for another. Rouse now with a 1 versus 2. 1 player so low on HP. Can he find BRT on 9 HP? No, he can't. BRT finishes the job. Team 1, they take the lead now, 10-9, as they force Lyngby Vikings back to what will be their eco.
It's crushing for Lyngby. These last 2 rounds have been incredibly close, but they just haven't been able to come out on top. Maluk is currently 5-2 in duels against Bird from Sky, and Team 1 have converted the first kill into a round 7 out of 10 times, so a 70% conversion rate on that. That's actually pretty good there, yeah, a little bit above average on that one. Of course, we do see Lyngby drop right down to an eco, but that was looking very dangerous for Team 1. They ran down that clock, they walked into a stacked site, they were fully reliant on hitting all of their shots, and well, for their sake, it was lucky they were able to. Malbs up on top of the silo. He's played this position every single round, and as the USP start to encroach on his position, are they going to check for it, or is he going to have a field day and rack up his scoreline?
All it takes is a well-timed nade stack, really, to screw Malbs. Then Well, for Lyngby Vikings, they are slowly taking their time, and once they hear the execution go down towards A, they'll realize that they've got a bit of a flank on, but that flank only works with its speed, and as Mouse makes his way forward, actually hear the players around him. He'll let's catch out the first, but from Sky falls, the rest try to swarm him. That they do. He's good for 2 there, when for Lyngby Vikings, the only weapon they can really look to save here is the Galil, and well, what good's that going to do?
I don't think there's really any point in saving this Galil, considering they're going to be on a full buy in the next. I'd rather just see Natus Affix on an M4. Maybe try and do some... Seems to be the game plan here. As Fasher drops, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. Oh, wow.
Not quite taken down as Pesadello finishes the job. But into Suffix now in a 1v4. I think he might actually try and hunt to do a bit of extra damage here. Can't quite do so, though. He'll back away. He'll hold on to that Galil. Yes, it's not the greatest of weapons to use, but at least it means he can build a bit of economy, and he can potentially drop it to someone like Relax, who doesn't quite have that much money. So understandable by him to at least save it. And for Lyngby Vikings, though, you need to bear in mind, being 11-9 down, if they're going down to another eco, this is going to give Team 1 an avenue to hit, 13-14. They need to win this round, otherwise they're going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you're right. If they lose it, Team 1 can get themselves onto 13. And remember, this is Lyngby's map pick and actually one of their best maps. So they are very much looking to take this. And it seems to be a hell of a lot closer than I'm sure they were expecting it to be. Bird from Sky getting down the vent. Pasadello, though, finding the opening pick. It's traded by Relax's Molly. And with Fasher firing through for another, it does give Lyngby an advantage, but that advantage gone. All of the players dropping. The nade comes in, only does a little bit of damage there onto PRT. And with the man advantage, Team 1 can get this C4 planted. They've got plenty of util to hold Lyngby away. And Natus Affix needs to find an opening here.
I say he needs to find an opening. It looks like he may consider saving. Smoke goes down, and this will ease their way forward. But Team 1, all it takes is a well-timed swing to finish off Lyngby Vikings right now. Malbs towards this hollow vent position. There's the swing from Luke. Good for 1 round. Modifies Malbs, and suddenly it's all down to PRT in a 1 versus 2. Coming up from heaven, there's no way they predict this angle. As there you go, he catches out the first. Time is ticking. Nato can't quite find the kill. PRT, a beautiful 1 versus 2. And with that, we see Team 1 make it 12 now against Lyngby Vikings, who have a destroyed economy.
Did NATO not have a kit there as well? I'm trying. We've got a replay. Okay, we've got a replay.
No, he didn't.
We don't actually see whether NATO had a kill or not, though. It doesn't look like he did he? So that's unfortunate. Knew that there was no way he was going to actually be able to hold that defuse. I think if he had a kit, he might have just about had it. But no, Team 1 on to 12. Lyngby, they go for a pistol buy. It's going to be a full investment in the next. But unless they can pull off something crazy, then we should see Team 1 get on to 13. And that's 3 away from closing this one out. Gets very, very dangerous indeed. As Lyngby really need to start playing some better CS here.
Hey, so ready to try and catch out. Malbs can't quite do so. And instead, as Rouse makes his way on forward now in a 4-on-5. What good can he hope to do? Well, not much. Malou gets close, but he's able to win the aim duel with Rouse, meaning Bird from Sky is able to trade, and the lone members towards ramp are just going to try and catch them out. However, Relax there with one, his teammate with another, and Fasher, as he runs through that Molly, is now going to try and swarm Pesadello, who's caught out. Now all on Malbs, 1 versus 1 for the round. Lyngby, a beautiful recovery, and Malbs definitely in a lot of trouble. Relax caught out by Malbs, though, and for Team 1, that makes it 13 of what could have been a very close round.
With no kit on Relax there, he actually had no time to get that one done anyway. But my goodness, came a lot closer than I was expecting and forces some reinvestments here from Team 1. They're not going to be massively happy with the outcome there, but the fact that they were able to win it is going to be a little bit of a weight off their shoulders. They can go into this next with a 4-round lead and incredibly close to actually finishing this one off. Lyngby, they go for another buy. This is kind of the must-win round. If they lose this, Team 1 can actually get onto match point. But the nade stack, it's absolutely perfect. Relax, who's had a little bit of a slow game, finds 3, almost the 4th. And I think that might just be enough to propel Lyngby into their 10th.
That's exactly what's needed. Pesadello in a 1 versus 4. Good for 1. On low HP, I think this could be done and dusted. But this is where that damage that Lyngby have been able to do to Team 1 slowly resonates. Look at Team 1's economy. They've won good 2-3 in a row. It matters for naught. Lyngby Vikings have shattered their economy, and, well, with this kill onto Pesadillo, not a single weapon is saved. Lyngby Vikings, they hit 10 as they look to build an economy of their own, as they now finally get to play bonus versus Team 1's bad buy.
Yeah, despite the fact that Team 1 have actually won 5 rounds in a row, they've been challenged in so many of them and had to reinvest in so many of them that they actually don't really have any money. We're going to see an interesting buy come out from Maluk. He's actually going to be dropped in AWP, and there we go. They go for a full investment rather than the eco. This actually gives Lyngby an open door of opportunity to try and close this gap, and we see that stat line pop up too. It's exactly the same as what we saw from Team 1 just a couple of rounds ago. 70% conversion rate after finding that opening pick, and that's something that they want to look to continue.
It's a really, really strong statistic, and for Team 1, they realise that on this fourth spy, they are really allowing Lyngby Vikings to come back now. They lose this, Lyngby Vikings are in perfect position to put this map into contention. If they win it, Lyngby Vikings are going to be out for the count. It's a big gamble, but it's got big, big reward to it. High risk, high reward. And Luke, he's going to be that pivot point with that orb. He's going to be the catalyst. So either bring Team 1 a statement to Lyngby Vikings that they are a team to be feared, or he's going to be the reason they slowly roll over and face the Lyngby Vikings full buy with an eco.
NATO on the angle, ready for these deagles. I mean, I'm fully anticipating a crazy shot to come through right now, but with NATO Suffix on it, I'm sure that he won't allow it to happen. Does take a body shot, but deals a deadly shot himself. And Team 1, whilst they're able to take the ramp control, they've taken a casualty. And they're not actually able to get down ramp either. NATO Suffix still holding that deeper angle. They have got control of outside though, and as they get into A main, this crossfire from Fasher and Relax needs to hold up, and that's a beautiful one.
No, that was a beautiful whiff as well from Relax. Fasher though, he remains crisp backside on A, but Luke in a 1 versus 3 can't quite finish the job. Fasher, an ironclad defense of the A site, and a great recovery from Relax's massive whiff there. However, with that recovery comes Lyngby Vikings reinvestment, their full buy, and for Team 1, an eco. Lyngby Vikings, they make it 12 now, with what will only be 1 round separating these two sides, with all the momentum in the Danish favour.
Fasher had an opportunity to pick up a secondary sniper there, and he actually opted against it. That surprises me, considering they have Bird from Sky on the team. Yeah, before NATO Suffix come in, he was the man that would pick up that AWP. I'm surprised that they don't opt for that secondary sniper more often. But Relax on the higher angle, ready to pounce onto these ramp players. He has flashed off of it, and Bird from Sky doing damage with this rifle, but can't seem to find any kills. As one's darted down towards B, it's actually Maluk. He's got the C4 on his back, and he can get a bomb plant, a full eco here, and they get some extra cash. They're going to be more than happy with that outcome. And even as he drops, Rouse will be happy to go and get the defuse. But Team 1, that's a successful round.
It's a great round, and for Team 1 as they move into what will be another tough old spot. Lyngby Vikings, so only if they win their round, they do so with everyone left alive. It means their economy thrives, and it means that the likelihood is they're going to be able to reinvest in what will either be not just the round after this if they lose it, but the round after that as well. A great, great position to be in, especially considering there is only about 5 rounds left of the game. And for Team 1, their economy is in tatters. If Lyngby Vikings win this one without allowing a plant, they are paving the way to victory. They lose it, Team 1 with this momentum could try and close out the map. That's how much of a knife's edge this game is balanced on, as Lyngby Vikings are in a very strong position.
Bird from Sky once again still playing towards this outside angle. The surf from Malbs there. That was very cool indeed. Gets him in a position a little bit quicker than I'm sure Bird from Sky was anticipating. And NATO Suffix needs to hold the line on the site. He's doing so beautifully. Even up close with the AWP, hitting just about everything. Whiffs on the 4th man, but Fasher's there to trade it. And Lyngby, they tie things up 13-13 and force Team 1 onto what will just be a pistol buy. Lyngby, they've recovered this one beautifully. And this game, whilst it's been a hell of a lot closer than I'm sure they would have been hoping, they're now in a prime position to take it their way.
If there was ever a time to rise as a savior for your team, this is it right here. First kill from NATO is great. The whiff now recovers by going close sight, and this 3rd kill just phenomenal. He even had a crack at a 4th as well, quick enough, not quite landing on skulls. His teammates were already there to trade him though, and with that, Team 1 go down to pistols. That was a great, great round for Lyngby Vikings now, and what really plays to their a very harrowing effect is that as Team 1 move ahead, they've got to do so with bare minimum utility, which gives Lyngby Vikings a chance to just shut down this attack before it even gets started.
Did you see last round Malb surfing on the little curvy bit outside of A main? That was so cool. I have not seen that in a very long time, but seems like these pistols are just being absolutely put to bed. No damage done here onto Lyngby Vikings. In fact, 2 points of it, but it's negligible. And Pasadello, position known, and he should be finished off here. No opportunity to find a kill with that Desert Eagle. And Lyngby Vikings, they have a flawless round to get onto 14. And with that cash behind them, they can actually afford to invest into the next couple if needs be. So Team 1 have really got their work cut out for them if they want to pull this back. AKs on every man, no opportunity for the AWP, but full utility all round. And Malbs looks to extend his 26 kills further and act as that catalyst to bring Team 1 back into this one. He's been the star player for their side so far this game, but on the T side, he's not had as much impact.
I really am interested by Team 1. Like, this would be heartbreaking if they lose this, simply because they were so damn strong. They were so strong on their T side or their CT side when it came around. And the fact that we literally haven't seen them play this map, but the fact that they kind of falter a bit now is just heartbreaking. We see aggression attempted by Lyngby Vikings. It's refuted pretty easily by Team 1 as they keep them back. And for Lyngby Vikings now, this gives them the perfect opportunity to just stack together, wait for Team 1 to come to them, as the nade lands on Hut there. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite land, and instead for Relax, he now knows that Team 1 are maybe amping up for an attack on the safe side.
It'd be a big wasted investment if they don't go for it, but off the back of doing no damage with those grenades, they might decide to aggress elsewhere. NATO Safik still with this secret control. There's less than a minute left on this clock, and Team 1 do need to make a decision. They need to make it now. Seems like they are grouping up for an A-site hit, but there's a heavy stack here from Lyngby. They've taken control elsewhere, and now... oh, they've given up ramp. There is the boost in place, though. Do they clear Rouse's position here?
It's a tough ask to do so. It genuinely is. And as the players make their way forward, Rouse, who spots out the first. PRT, beautiful read there as he shuts down Rouse. And now with the man advantage, 25 seconds left. Team 1 bow their way towards this site. Pasadello from Squeaky tries to catch out of rotation. He does just that. There's the initial kill. But from Sky, just trying to buy time as Skulls pushes into him. Can't quite find the kill. Instead, NATO Safik's one of the only lone defenders left on the site. He's got to go huge to hold as his teammate comes through from vents. What good will it hope to do as NATO, well, he's not even going to be good for one. There he is. Fasha good for one. NATO good for a second. 2-on-2 now between Malbs and Skulls. Both low on HP, both carrying towards this beast site as Lyngby continue to try and hunt them down. Again, NATO turning attention towards double door. Skulls, he's going to play for timing, but does he have that timing at that? NATO switching out for the AK. There's Fasha falling. Skulls onto the second. And Team 1 equalizing 14-14.
Team 1 play that post-plant situation perfectly. The two members on the site not showing anything and waiting for Lyngby to walk right into their crosshairs. That's very unfortunate there from the Lyngby Vikings that they lose those initial engagements. It came so close. But as soon as they give up that control and they gamble towards the A site, it costs them. The boost from Rouse, it's fantastic, but not when PRT is going to read it and hit the headshots like that. 14-14. Team 1, they've now got the cash in the bank to try and get this one done. Maluk with an AWP in hand as they try and take some outside control. And Bird from Sky in A main. Does he try and contest this, or does he give it up in the meantime? Pasadello's actually managed to sneak his way through Squeaky and get down Vent. They've taken so much control here.
They've done so quietly as well. A perfect flash from Relax allows Bird from Sky to get aggressive onto Maluk. But the reality is, I don't think they have any clue as to how detrimental, how compromised this beast site is. We see Malb, Skulls, and his teammates all ready to go down from Secret, but Pasadello, he's ready for a flank. And while it looks like there's a bit of a position known, I don't think that Lyngby Vikings have a grasp on whereabouts Pasadello could be. Fasha in heaven, Rouse on what will be hell now, clearing lockers, making sure it truly is clear, means that Team 1 have a clear path down towards this beast site, as Lyngby Vikings will be forced to play retake in a 5-on-4.
Remember, Team 1 still have to make noise to get out onto that B site. By the nature of how it actually is, they either need to break a window or open a door. It's going to give away the sound cue. And Lyngby, they've already started to predict that it is going to be a B site hit. The rotations come in. 3 members rotate through ramp. And now they are ready for this execute. Pesadello and Skulls, though, bounce it right back. 4 kills in unison. And it leaves NARRAÇÁO alone in a 1 versus 3. And I think he might actually just save this AWP. That's so unfortunate, especially considering how low some of these members are. But he knows how important that sniper is in round number 30. And Lyngby Vikings, they're going to cower away and play for OT.
What an incredible round by Team 1 there, as it's all down to Pesadello and Skulls. A great 3K on response to the ramp recontrol that came through from Lyngby. And while they read it would be a B hit, they didn't read it fast enough, and it was just punished admirably. Great round from Team 1. As they hit 15 now, they're going to look to try an upset with a victory on Lyngby Vikings map pick.
Well, NARRAÇÁO will be able to carry across this AWP into the next. You know what? I've just realised, KREMER, my watch isn't ticking.
Oh, right.
I thought it was a bit weird that it's been the same time for the last hour. Yeah. I just thought the time hasn't really moved.
Fair enough.
As we come into round number 30, though, it is going to be overtime or bust here for the Lyngby Vikings. Do you reckon they're able to do it here, KREMER? I have faith. Yeah, I have faith in the overtime, but what are you thinking?
I don't know how I feel, to be honest. I don't. I have enough that goes to YOT. Honestly, I think that Team 1, while it has been shaky at times, and while it has been quite hard to read, and while we have really had to rely on Malbs and Pesadello to single-handedly carry Team 1, they have still been able to do it, and I can see them closing out here.
Well, we do see a full buy come out here from Lyngby Vikings off the back of NATO saving that AWP. It is a big old buy. No AWP here available on Nuke, unfortunately, for Team 1. But that might play to their advantage, means that they can play inside some of these more aggressive angles. And speaking of aggressive, NARRAÇÁO right up ramp, able to find that first. And as he falls away, they might not expect Rouse still on this aggressive position. He pushed up to support, and as soon as NARRAÇÁO drops back, he's going to hold and maintain that aggressive angle, maintain the control that they've established. And now with the man advantage, Team 1 look to funnel into the A site, but there's still 3 defenders posted, and Rouse in the corner isn't going to be anticipated. NARRAÇÁO's good for another, and this is a much better round from Lyngby.
Team 1 in a 2 versus 3. We see Nuke as well, looking to retrieve that AWP. He does just that, and for Lyngby, being a man up, while it is an advantage, you need to make sure that they hold firm and that they need to make sure they don't give it up instantly. And with a relaxed in a position where he can't be traded, Thatcher in a position where he can't be traded, Team 1 aren't out of this yet. And as they make their way forward, again, stacked up towards ramp, trying to bait Lyngby Vikings into making a mistake, they slowly start clearing this B site, slowly ebbing their way forward and looking to duel this player of Thatcher.
Oh, Nuke walking along, scoped in. Not looking to make any noise as the smoke goes down on the single door, though. That will be the cue for this M4 to get ready to swing off. The bomb plant going down, and Thatcher's position, it goes unchecked. He's able to do the damage. Pesadello down to 9 points of health, but this C4 will be planted. It really does fall onto Nuke's shoulders now to get something done. He's got 3 players to find. He predicts that Bird from Sky is coming in from ramp, but the timing, it doesn't work out for him. His barrel's been spotted. Bird from Sky is going to eliminate him, and Pesadello with 9 points of health can't get anything done. Lyngby Vikings, they take it to 15, and we will be going to overtime. KREMER, we had a day full of overtimes yesterday, and it seems like we are in for more. I think we might be topping the leaderboard very soon.
I think we're about to get a notification from our admins to see where we are on this leaderboard right now. And it's an update. I think I'm second now on the leaderboard. So it really is looking quite tough, as instead it's over towards Lyngby Vikings to try and topple Team 1 in what will be a very close affair. I don't think either of us predicted it to be this close on Nuke, and as Team 1 go for this full buy, this is their chance to pull ahead and force Lyngby back.
Well, sometimes we see overtime kind of swing the other way because one of the teams haven't had a great economy throughout the half or something like that. Now they've got the opportunity to pull the guns out, they do better. But frankly, both of these teams have had full buys in the last few rounds. So this overtime is essentially just an extension of what we've seen so far. A snappy headshot there from Pasadello to open things up, but unfortunately unable to connect onto the second. Only gets Rouse down to 12 points of health. In the meantime, Maluk finds Fasha, and Rouse wants to upgrade to this AK, something that can actually get the kill with just the headshot above those stairs. And in the meantime, Team 1 have actually managed to work their way back up secret, looking like they're going to go for an A hit here. And with the man advantage, they might just be able to do so. Lyngby's aggression might actually play to their detriment as Team 1, they're coming in from heaven.
It was a great refusal from Team 1 there to shut down Lyngby, but it looks like NATO Safix is really quite ready for this attack. Players come down towards... I think he spotted the shoulders that he has. Oh, there's the collateral. Now he's got two more players to worry about from heaven. His teammates Molly keeps them at bay. The nade will land at their feet as well. And it's just a great recovery from Lyngby Vikings now. They seem more than convinced to know where Team 1 are coming from. And as the players swing out, relax, not quite able to catch them out for the time being, but Rouse on the flank should try and finish the job here. There's a plant by Malbs. Yes, it goes down. But in a 3-on-2, it's definitely a tough old ass. There's the swing. There's the first. Tags up the second. Finishes the job. And Lyngby Viking, beautiful recovery. Make it 16.
That's so awesome from NATO as well. Holding that angle, he can see the elbows poking out, and he knows that there's two players there. And he's just holding the angle, saying, hold it, hold it, hold it. Just as they both peek out, bam, collateral, 2 kills found. And that is how you turn a man disadvantage and flip it around. A 4v3 going into a 3-on-2, just like that. And all of a sudden, Lyngby Vikings had a huge advantage. Rouse, he plays this to the T as well, even turning away his teammates' flashbang to re-aggress to find that final man. And Team 1, off the back of it, they're going to call a timeout. And you can see right now on the cams, they are not looking happy with that one at all. That is a tough pill to swallow.
What's interesting as well is that we look over Lyngby Vikings. There's only 8 kills separating their top fragger from their bottom fragger. Like, everyone's pulling their weight, and they are really closely tied up. Over towards Team 1, it's a good, I think it's almost 20 kills separating the bottom fragger from the top fragger, as... for the most part, this has been an incredible showing by Lyngby on everyone. All of them had individual plays. All of them, Rouse bottom fragging at 20, NATO top fragging at 28. There's no separation at all, and that means that Lyngby are really moving together as a team.
For anyone at home that's interested as well, on the overtime counter, me and KREMER are at 8. 8 overtimes, which is just insane. And as I said yesterday...
round one of the Swiss stage as well. But it's not round 2. So.
Exactly. Absolutely mental. And it is really a testament of just how close these teams are in terms of skill. We see so many of these games going the absolute distance. And, well, let's see if we go to multiple OTs or if one of these teams can close it out. The utility coming into ramp, it's perfectly timed and perfectly placed here from Rouse. Keeps Team 1 at an arm's length for a few seconds longer and actually allows a rotation to come in here from Bird from Sky to support.
We see a few names go down either way for the time being. Rouse is a beautiful opening there. He's able to double up onto Skulls as well as it now falls into a 5-on-3. And for Lyngby Vikings, as they spread out, they are ready to attack Team 1. And NATO missing a shot. PRT can't quite trade. And Lyngby, their issue on their CT was really on the CT side. I think the T-side is actually quite strong. And if they can find 2, maybe 3 rounds here, then Team 1 are going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble.
It's an uncharacteristic miss there from NATO, but Rouse, well, he steps up to the plate when his teammate isn't. 4 kills found in the round for him. This is against a full buy, remember, and they're all headshots. NATO whiffs another shot. That one might just cost him his life, but no, his movement's too good. And PRT being flanked by Fasha. Ooh, that should have been a kill all day long, but no. Rouse instead will find the ace, and Lyngby Vikings get on to 17. What an amazing round from the man.
That was an incredible showing by Rouse there as they shut him down and they hold him in place. A great showing. And that's kill onto Maluk there. Just perfect read. Re-aggress onto Pasadello. Beautiful crosshair placement. And it just shows that Lyngby are well versed in this map. Team 1, they take a timeout. Understandably so, because right now they must be starting to feel that pressure.
I mean, you go into overtime, right? You go, your head's held high, you're thinking, okay, we can do this. And then in back-to-back rounds, you have a collat from NATO Safix that turns the tides and costs you the win. And then an ace from Rouse. I mean, you just can't predict this stuff, yeah? Malbs has found himself 19 headshots this game. Now, he has got himself 28 kills, so nothing too crazy in terms of the headshot percentage, but of course, pretty crazy in terms of firepower. He has been fragging hard this game, really pulling the weight of Team 1. And Lyngby, seems like they've only just been able to contend. We see the surf from Malbs again, right through the smoke, but Bird from Sky, he's played against it so many times that he's ready and waiting for it.
BRT, he's caught out by Relax. Relax doubles up as well as it falls down to Maluk. The last man left standing in a 1-on-2. He dives down into those vents. He tries to get away. And as he does just that, Lyngby Vikings now in a tough old spot. As they push their way forward, Maluk punches in those numbers, but he's with this orb as well. He can try and isolate 2 1v1s very quickly. And it looks like Lyngby, they are acutely aware of that. They stack together. They get ready to attack from single doors. Maluk makes noise towards double. And as they push their way towards this site, they've got utility to smoke off Maluk's position. They've got flashes to keep him off guard. And as that starts being deployed, we now see the aggression come through. Maluk not quite hitting the first shots. And with this location known now, these players are going to try and swarm him.
Oh, it just comes down to timing on these shots through the smoke, and he just can't get it. He's missing by millimeters, and that is very, very unfortunate indeed. But Lyngby Vikings, they play that final situation perfectly, and they do take a flawless first half here on the CT side of the first half of OT, which is really interesting considering they just weren't able to close before. Only one of the next 3 rounds needed here on their attack, and they'll be taking their own pick of Nuke. It's gone a little bit further than I think they were expecting. It's not been the performance that I think we were expecting, but nonetheless, one that they'll be happy with.
That was terrifying for a moment for Lyngby Vikings. They seem to have recovered and get a foothold on this very, very admirably. Now they move to their T side. This is where Team 1 surprised us on their CD side. This is where they drove that wedge between both sides and showed that actually they can play Nuke. If there were a time for them to come back, now would be just that.
Well, oh, that's smart. Deploying the incendiary means that that smoke grenade actually lands out of place. Pesadello's got a huge gap in this to work with. Lyngby should realize this, but it does put a spanner in the works. And Maluk, he's got the perfect angle on the cross. If Lyngby Vikings still tried to get a little bit greedy and cross, now the smokes have actually dissipated fully. They might go for a new avenue of approach. Instead, they dart across. They go incognito. And Lyngby, they should be able to get down to B here, completely uncontested.
It looks like that was a fake towards A there. A great round by Lyngby. An amazing strat at that. Malbs now towards ramp. He's going to be forced away by these Molotovs. And with the flank coming through as well by Relax, Maluk's ready for it. Shuts him down, but NATO's also there. And all of a sudden, Lyngby in an afterpart situation, while they are a man down, they do have that positional advantage. And this is really going to start hurting Team 1 if they're not careful. There's PRT course out. And in a 4-on-4 now, Malbs has got to lead this charge with Maluk. But Raoul's more than ready for them. He's going to look to shut them down.
A full by round with a 5v5 retake, certainly not something you see every day. And let's see if Lyngby can hold it. This bomb, it's beat so far already. Team 1, they have to get into this one quickly. And as they're holding this defuse, it's being held through the smoke, but NATO, no! It spams it away. The defuse comes in just the right second. That must have come down to an absolute millisecond. That was crazy. NATO gets the spray transfer, kills the man through the smoke, but the defuse comes through at the exact same tick. That is nuts. Team 1, they cut that so fine. And look at this again.
We saw Fasher. He swung to the right side of site there instead of the... If he fought the left side and killed the diffuser, the round would have been over. That's how close that was. And we now see Lyngby Vikings for a moment without momentum. Maluk, he's getting aggressive towards Secret, or Squeaky, sorry. He's looking for this initial member. Can't quite do so, though, as Team 1 elsewhere try their hands at their own spout of aggression. There's Relax shutting down Maluk. The trade not quite there by Pesadello, but definitely keeps Relax honest as he backs away. On towards ramp, though. Malb's good for 2, including the bomb. NATO unable to find him. Relax there to trade, but as PRT finds Fasher, Relax with 13 HP, left in a 1v3. And I tell you what, Josh, double OT seems very appealing at this point.
Last round, Team 1 held on by an unbelievably thin thread. But right now, after a huge play there from Malbs, It seems like they might actually be able to take this 17th convincingly, and with it, maybe take us to double OT. Malb's currently sitting on 32 frags, and with Relax on such low health, I just don't know how he can get this done. He seems to want to fall away here, maybe regress onto A, but Skulls is playing this situation beautifully in the corner. There's no way this would be anticipated, and with Relax so low on health, it's not even going to matter. It's the headshot to finish him off, and it will go 18-17. Lyngby's last chance to take this win with this map point. And if they can't do so, then we go into even further rounds to separate these two sides.
It was an incredible round by Team 1 there, and an incredible round by Malbs in particular. A great 3 count. It was almost 4 as well, considering how low on HP Relax was there. As we now see Lyngby on their T side without an AWP attempt to try and topple Team 1, but right now this CT side from either side seems ironclad and appears to be almost unbreakable. As they both make their way forward, they both get ready for this assault, and Fasha able to get through the smoke for the time being. He's the only one to lead that charge. There's no trade, there's no defense just yet, though. The Lyngby Vikings stay ahead.
You can throw those smokes without a gap between them, but it seems to be a mistake that's made so often. It means that Team 1 can count the crosses like sheep, and Malbs now knows that there's only one player towards Secret, and as he's found that kill, the rest of the players must be elsewhere. Maluk gonna miss that shot. But can they do anything with it?
Pesadelo ready for Bird from Sky. Can't quite catch him out for the time being. Instead towards the lobby. It's Relaxed to find the kill onto Skulls now. And in a 2-on-4, Pesadelo shutting down Bird from Sky. Leaves Lyngby a man down. Aggression comes out from Heaven. PRT onto Relaxed. Pesadelo to trade. PRT doubles up. And with that, Josh, we're seeing the realms of double OT. As Team 1, they equalize and they look to pull ahead. But for Lyngby Vikings, this shows they know, and Team 1 know, they only need 1 on their T side to be in serious contention to win this.
If Lyngby Vikings actually throw this away now, they are going to be gutted. Remember, they were on map point 3 rounds in a row, and they should have been able to take it in the first, where they had the C4 down, and it came down to the final tick on that defuse. Absolutely unreal. Lyngby now, double OT. You know what that means for us, KREMER, but for these two teams, it means that this map drags out even further.
Absolutely right, and I just do you see a victor here?
Do I see? Oh, no. To be honest, I think that Lyngby have kind of maintained control. In these last few rounds, like they've been on the front foot. They've been the ones that have actually had the opportunities at the map points. But at the end of the day, being unable to close them just means that it goes even further. And to be honest, I don't think that it's a coincidence that loads of Lyngby's games end up going to OT. I think they do have a little bit of an issue with closing out.
We see a lot of utility expended towards outside, and tell you what, if they have trouble with finishing, then this may give Team 1 a chance to really pull ahead here. Rouse, he'll hear the rotation come through towards Mini. This could be a chance at aggression. Pesadelo, though, really aggressive, turns around, and with that 180 catches him out. Bird from Sky, team killing as well onto Relax. And as Malbs shuts down Bird from Sky, Lyngby Vikings have just been dismantled. A horrific attack there as Malbs just pops off and finishes the job. Josh, what was that?
They got completely crushed, Lyngby. They've kind of gone for the same strat too many times, and that's the issue here. When you've got an IGL that maybe you have like a strat book, you say, okay, right, we've got like some ideas that we want to go for. We've practiced some of our defaults here on Nuke. You can do that for 25, 30 rounds. Yeah, that's fine. But once you get into OT and then you get into double OT, you start to run out of ideas, and you're calling these on-the-fly strats, and you end up kind of going into the same setups and the same configurations that you've done previously, and it becomes very, very predictable. Lyngby right now finally able to find the man advantage, but with Bird from Sky taking so much damage, there's really not a lot in it. Minute 30 still on this clock to play with as they try to establish some control outside. And they get ready to deploy the smokes in order to do so.
As this util goes down, I tell you what, Josh, from that round, I'm really not feeling the Vikings right now. It feels like Team 1 are actually feeling a lot more confident than their counterparts. And it's maybe seriously to their detriment. We see Maluk as well, just ready for the attack onto outside, AWP in hand. But Lyngby Vikings, judging by this positioning, they are looking for an execution. And as they get ready for the attack, ready for the assault, and ready to besiege this A site, Team 1 in a pretty strong setup to counteract anyone who comes their way. Skulls and PRT on the same angle, just at different altitudes, to make trying to duel them a very tough feat.
A hell of a lot of fire on this A site, but doesn't seem to be affecting Team 1 at all. They're in positions that actually are not affected by it. And the Maluk, he is able to find that first shot, brings things even, back into a 4-on-4. The flashbang timing, it's perfect to Malbs for 3. That is flawless. Maluk's flashbang blinds all of them. And Fasher, he was the man on the flank. He was thinking he might have some element of surprise as his teammates take the control, and instead, they get crushed. He comes in accompanied by a flashbang of his own. It's good for 1, but nothing more, as Team 1 take 20. Remember, the magic number is 22 rounds here in this second OT. And if Team 1 can have a flawless CT half, it means they only need 1 on the attack.
I think Team 1 very well may have a flawless CT half. They seem very strong right now. And for Lyngby Vikings, this is good reason to fear. And at Lyngby Vikings, they may... I don't know what they're trying to do on their T side, but whatever it is, it's not working. And Team 1 are in perfect position to just punish everything they attempt and everything they try to pull ahead with.
Well, as we see Fasher find the opening, it is traded out, and there we go. Trades go evenly. PRT, even caught with a knife out, finally drops, and Maluk, he's left in a 1-on-3. Team 1, they were looking like they might be able to take a flawless half here, but instead, seems like Lyngby might actually snatch out a single round. And considering they had a flawless CT side in the first half of OT, this is something that is going to be quite valuable to them, I think. Unless Maluk can strip it away from them, there's no point in saving, of course. He can't carry this AWP into the next. It's OT. He'll have plenty of cash to work with regardless. And as he creeps up, he should have the timing on Tornado. Safix, free kill for him. Deploys a smoke on the bomb. He's going to tap it. That's going to initiate the peak. And he brings it into a 1-on-1. He's going to hold it this time. And accompanied by the flash. The spam is not connecting, but Relax finally finishes it off. That one came too close for comfort. And right now, Maluk starting to get his numbers rolling. But what is very, very notable at this point is Malbs is on 39 kills. Such an unbelievable showing from him. And no one on this server seems to be matching it.
That was a damn close round. And Malbs, he and Maluk both are just on a whole other level. Maluk right now, a great opening. And tell you what, any other day, that again, it's just, he looks like he has all the cards in his hand against Lyngby Vikings, even though he's in a 1v3. Lyngby Vikings, credit to make it 19, but whether or not they have the same success in the CT round or CT side as they did in the first overtime, that's going to be a tough ask to see, and we're going to have to see if they can hold on. However, Team 1, they go for an early A hit, and Lyngby Vikings, they've got aggressive towards outside. It means they cannot refute this. While U2 does a lot of damage, Team 1 have got this site on lock. 5-on-5 retake now, when there's utility ready to be expended on Lyngby Vikings' behalf. Team 1 are in a perfect position.
Look how much damage Team 1 have taken, though, on this initial engagement. So many players incredibly low on health. Bird from Sky going to deploy this smoke towards the squeaky door. Going to eliminate any potential of a flank around, and it means that they can focus on all of these players on the site and hut. They need to clear out Hollow Vent, and as this bomb's beeping faster and faster, of course we have 5 kits in play, but they still need to speed this up, and Skulls and Mouths firing through for all the frags. Fasher can find one back. Rouse from heaven, but this bomb, it's just too far gone. I don't think Rouse can get this done. Falling from the sky, hoping that a lucky shot connects onto PRT's head, and it just isn't going to do so. Team 1 now onto map points here on their opponent's pick, and Lyngby, this has been a little bit disappointing from them. I was really expecting more here, and they have choked this right at the end.
It legitimately looks like an awful position for these last couple of members, and well, for Lyngby, I actually can't see them winning this map. I think they have run out of steam, and their CT side, it seems to have gotten progressively worse and worse as we see them fall on away. And looking over towards this aggression from Skulls now, Team 1 moving straight into Lyngby Vikings, realizing that they won't go for outside control twice in a row. Bird from Sky hiding towards Garage, almost scared of what Team 1 will bring him now. The Skulls just gets flashed through the smoke.
They seem to be aware of Bird from Sky's position here too, and if they clear it, it could be deadly. But no, they look away at the wrong time. They don't hard clear it, and Bird from Sky can find all three. NATO Sapphics with one more in the meantime. Team 1 played that round perfectly, but they didn't hard clear the angle. That is such a huge mistake, and Maluk now left in a 1-on-5. There's no point in saving, but I don't think he's going to be able to do a whole lot here. And Lyngby Vikings, they stay alive. They get themselves onto 20. Do we see triple OT? KREMER, these OTs are killing me.
I see a triple OT here. Unless Lyngby... Well, Lyngby, I still don't know how I feel about them right now. I am convinced this will be a third OT. Maluk making his way down in towards Secret is going to try and catch out someone somewhere, but it feels like silver linings and kind of rose-tinted glasses right now for him as he makes his way forward just to maybe catch out an odd member. Yes, he has the bomb, but Lyngby, the second he plants it, Lyngby are just going to swap him.
Well, Maluk does actually manage to get a bomb plant here. I'm quite surprised that Lyngby have actually allowed this, and no one's actually ready for the retake either, so Maluk can get himself a post-plant position and maybe do some damage. But as they swing through the vents, they come in together, and Bird from Sky is able to instantly trade. So a much better round there from Lyngby, and it's actually a 4K from the man that's just mentioned. Lyngby, they get themselves onto 20, and you're right, KREMER, I think we might actually be seeing a triple OT here.
Maybe there's a chance for him, but I can't see it. I just can't see it. And, well, for Team 1, they'll have one opportunity left to refute the Lyngby Vikings, but the player who has just been at the forefront spearheading this side has been Malbs. 41-30 he now goes. I tell you what, Josh, he is on a whole other level right now.
He really is, yeah. He has just gone absolutely huge. When he's called upon as well, that was an incredibly important round there for Lyngby. And Bird from Sky said, okay, do you know what? I haven't had too much of an impact in these last few rounds. This is where I'm going to step up to the plate. Now he pulls out a secondary sniper. I talked about this earlier. On a map like Nuke on the CT side, I want to see Bird from Sky picking up that AWP again. We know how deadly he can be with it. And accompanied by the secondary man and NATO Sapphics, they can do some serious damage. Team 1, though, have managed to get their way down Secret, and this is where NATO needs to contend and hit some shots, but he whiffs.
Malbs, that is an insanely fast trade, though. When we look over to Lyngby Vikings now, man down, and with their star player being annihilated, this is something a very, very tough spot to be in, especially with Pesadello slowly clearing the safe site. Once he realizes it's clear, he knows that Lyngby have gone aggressive towards lobby, and he's now got a flank onto Fasher and Relax, who are turning their attention towards ramp. Any second now, Team 1, they just head straight back at these vents towards A. Lyngby Vikings have been outmaneuvered and outsmarted right now, and Team 1, they're going to be rubbing their hands together mischievously as they scheme their way into what could be a 22nd. The odd bit of utility is expended. Pesadello, though, ready for them. As the plant, it's not cancelled. The players aren't killed, and Lyngby, the odds slowly start stacking up one by one against them. Malbs with another quick kill. These are all onto Fasher, who's caught out once again by the star player of Team 1, leaving Bird from Sky and Rouse all alone in a 2-on-5.
I think Team 1 might actually be able to close it here as Rouse comes up from the ladder. Team 1, they take us the distance, but look at those smiles on their faces. They are going to be very, very happy with that win indeed. It's their opponent's pick, one that we honestly thought they had absolutely no equity in, and they managed to take it in double OT in a very, very nice fashion. I'm incredibly impressed with the performance from the guys just there, and you can see it really, really does mean a lot to them. They're going to go to a short break and see if they can take that second map, and do you reckon they'll be able to do it, KREMER?
I think they can. I'm feeling Malbs right now. He is just playing out of his mind.
He really is. Well, folks, it seems like we are going to be going to a short break, around about 10 minutes or so, and we'll be right back with you with map number 2. It's going to be Team 1's pick. Are they going to be able to take it in a 2-0 fashion, or will we be going to a third? It's going to be Overpass, so don't go too far, folks. We'll be right back.